Morning to you.
Good morning.
First thing, are there any talks actually happening at the moment, and are they getting anywhere?
Well, look, let me just first, Justin, remind everybody what this dispute is about. It's about bin workers, drivers and loaders who woke up one morning and were told that they would take an £8,000 pay cut. For some, that is nearly a quarter of their pay. Now, I asked the government and I asked the leader of the council in the ACAS talks to say, look, where are we as far as this fair and reasonable offer is concerned? Where is the fair and reasonable offer that you say is on the table? And the reality is there is no fair and reasonable offer on the table. There's no offer on the table. The leader of the council was in your studio saying that there was a fair offer. Nobody had to lose any pay. I've asked for that offer and the offer simply does not exist. And so what I'm asking for this morning is to put that offer on the table so that we can get that offer to our members and see whether or not that solves this dispute.
And to be plain, you're asking the council, but you're also asking the government and the relevant minister, presumably Angela Rayner.
Yeah, and the reason for that, Justin, is that, when we were hearing the leader of the council, who has not been in one single negotiation since this dispute started, when we were listening to him on your show, actually, and others saying, look, there's a fair and reasonable offer, nobody has to lose any pay, etc., we thought, OK, let's get in, let's see the offer, let's do normal negotiations. We're in the negotiations. We agreed there wasn't a fair and reasonable offer, but fine, OK. We agreed then to put an offer down to look at various areas. We expected that offer to come to us on the 8th of May. We're now the 21st. And we've been told that that offer must now go to the government commissioners for sign-off. Now, that means now that that the council itself is not the final decision maker in this process. It's actually the government. And we're calling on the government to get that offer on the table so that we can see it and we can see if it's good enough for our members.
It's a really bizarre standoff, isn't it? Because we've had a spokesperson for the government saying it is simply false to suggest that the commissioners, who you mentioned there, or the leader of the council, have blocked attempts to resolve this deal. We continue, they say, to urge Unite to suspend its strike action, reach agreement on what they say still is a fair and reasonable offer that you say doesn't even exist.
Well, do you know, honestly, Justin, I've been negotiating for 35 years with major organisations, and the first rule is you have the decision maker in the room. And then once the decision maker's in the room, you know that you can get to some type of an offer, at least. Whether it's acceptable is another story. We've had a situation where the leader of the council has never been in the room, and that the managing director in the room, Joanne Rooney, because I insisted that there was a decision maker in there, she said to me, I can make this decision. I'm going to go away and put this offer down in the ballpark. You will get this offer by the 8th of May. And since then, we have been given excuse after excuse as to why this offer hasn't come to us. And finally, at the back end of last week, they say it's got to go through the government commissioners.
Well, I wonder
that tells me that she's not a decision maker. It tells me that she can't make this decision.
I wonder if ultimately the decision maker has to be Angela Rayner, and you need to sit down with her.
Well, I've asked Angela Rayner for a conversation. I asked for a conversation at the beginning of this dispute. Angela Rayner has said that her department doesn't have anything to do with the dispute. But I have to say, and I'm trying to be diplomatic here, that is not true. When you've got a situation, remember, at the heart of this, you've got Birmingham residents who obviously want their rubbish cleared. You've got workers who have been told that they're going to take an £8,000 pay cut. And that they're supposed to just swallow that. Now, it's totally and utterly unacceptable. Nobody can take that sort of a pay cut. For some of these people, it's a quarter of their pay. Now, all we want to happen here is that the fair and reasonable offer that the Prime Minister spoke about in PMQs, that Angela Rayner keeps referring to, that the leader of the council keep referring to, none of whom are in the negotiating room, can they give that to those people in the negotiating room? I suspect that offer does not exist. And what needs to happen now is they need to get it together and give it to the workers so that we can ballot on it. Well, this is an absolute shambles.
I tell you what, if Angela Rayner or indeed anyone in the government is listening and they want to come on and address that, then they're very welcome to.